Welcome back, everyone. Today we're visiting Xzia, a fellow SOE insider who has constructed this magnificent vampire village. Xzia is also a Twitch caster, and you can watch her broadcast most nights at midnight Eastern Daylight Time. Her information can be found in the Publish section below. All right, Xzia, tell us a little bit about your claim, your village, and this amazing statue that you're standing in front of.
The entire claim is about vampires. So you have a vampire mansion behind you. That's like the front where they want to attract victims. You have the village next to it where you have the actual victims where they live. There's a town hall, like a marketplace, and a gallows, which means that the villagers are pretty scared. Like the village, the mood we have here is that people disappear a lot. The villagers are very scared and they don't trust anyone, so they execute a lot of people. So the statue behind me was made by a friend of mine. His name is Trainer, and he came up with the idea that she's the wife of the boss vampire, like the big vampire, and she was murdered by humans. So the vampires really hate humans because of that. They don't only attack them for their blood, they also execute them. So there's like a love-hate relationships around here.
All right, so you mentioned earlier that the town is plagued by vampires. I suppose this is where the villagers bury their dead?
Yeah, that would be accurate. But they bury the dead people that were killed by vampires, but also the dead people that they hang in the village. Because they are scared. They execute a lot of people.
Okay, so across from the graveyard we have the church. However, there's something a little more menacing about it, right?
Yeah. So in the church there's priests working there, and the priests are actually looking like they are normal priests, but that's not true. They actually work for the vampires. They are the only humans who work for them, and they are the ones who, you know, they know the villagers, they see them every day, so they can really tell the vampires who is the next victim, when and where they can attack them, like, because they know them very well. The villagers like trust them. And the priests also study some kind of dark magic under the church. There's a hidden room there.
Okay, so essentially what happens is the priest lure the people into the church under confidence, and then that way they're able to kind of select the victims for the vampires?
Yeah, because of you know, the way that the priest can have like such a good relationship with the villagers, being, you know, they are trusted. The villagers, you know, they confess their whatever they want to confess in the confessional, and the priests know them very well, so they are able like really to pinpoint who to attack and stuff like that. So they are playing pretty much nice guys, but they are not. They are working for the vampires. Okay, let me show you a secret area under the church. It's where the priests do their dark magic studies. So it's hidden from the villagers, so they don't know that this is here. And there's a secret door leading to a very dark place here. I'm going to show you part of the underground tunnels. They link everything in the build together, so like the priests and the vampires are never seen from the villagers. And one of the links is here to the catacombs.
Okay, Xzia, as I understand it, the ancient villagers live in the cave areas, and then they rent their homes in the village out to people that move into the area, and that's how they protect themselves and their families, correct?
Yeah, and they do it to protect their families and to be safe, but at the same time it provides like you know, an endless flow of new victims for the vampires, and that's why they bury so many people here. So they have like very large catacomb systems and a very large graveyard, because they bury a lot of people.
Now that we've moved further down into the catacombs, explain this room that we're looking at now.
This room is actually part of my dungeon, so where we are in the catacombs is considered outside the dungeon, but on the other side of that grated door, that's inside the dungeon. That's where the vampires actually live. That's their quarters. It's a very dangerous place, and I made this door so people can actually see there's something else to find in my build, because it's so large. So, you know, it gives them a creepy feeling like, ooh, I have to find this.
Now, down below we saw a more elaborate catacomb. What can you tell me about this particular area here?
This is what I would call the poor man's catacombs. You know, these catacombs are much smaller and they're all stacked on top of each other. So that's where, like, the rather poor people get buried.
So what I've really noticed about your builds, that being individuals, fellow insiders, and those here in our wonderful TeamSpeak channel, is the level of detail from which you guys build from. But this room actually has a more practical element to it, right, that you relate to in real life.
Right, so I'm Canadian, and where I come from, it's very cold. The land is frozen 8 months a year. So we are used, like, instead of burying coffins during the winter, we place them in some kind of house, if you want, like some kind of large room. And when the land thaws, you know, during spring, that's when they take them out and then they bury them at the start of summer. So this room here is to be like some kind of storage for the coffins.
So now we're going to transition from the church graveyard and catacomb area into the actual villages where the vampire victims live. All right, Xzia, so now we're in the middle of the town here at the gallows. Can you give us a kind of an explanation and idea as to what all goes on here?
Sure. This here used to be a park, but you know, since everything has been happening in the village, people disappear. The villagers got very paranoid. They are scared of strangers. They are scared of just about anything, and they don't trust anyone. And every time like somebody disappears, they have to find somebody who is responsible. So they execute a lot of people, and that's where it happens. So the park is gone, and now it's gallows.
I like how you have the presence of mind to even put a lever here. These amazing subtle details really adds a lot to your build.
This was actually Trainer's idea. The gallows was made by Trainer.
Okay, so now we're across from the gallows, and this is going to be the marketplace, and you're just getting started with this little section here?
Yeah, so this is the first shop, and we are going to have 6 shops when we're done. This one here was made by Buzweaver, so he made a shop selling, you can see sausage on top, like meat hanging from ropes. And inside the glass window, you have like more ham, I think, and you have like vegetables at your feet.
All right, so the house we're looking at right now actually has a story to it. What is that story?
The story about this house is that the people living in this house are part of the original villagers, and they refuse to move in the cave with the others because they are very rich. They did not want to lose their comfort. So they decided to stay here. So out of the entire village on the surface, they are the only people who actually know about the vampires. But they keep it secret because they actually make a lot of money out of it. And to save their family, to keep it safe, you know, they have to donate blood every day. So they donate it in this cup here. Unfortunately, somebody found out about the cup. They don't know why it's there, but they figured, oh my god, what kind of dark sorcery is this? And they knocked it over. And the vampires are going to be very angry tonight. So we're in the shop for the richest guy in the town, and this guy sells a lot of windows. That's why he's so rich, because vampires tend to break windows, and he knows about vampires, so he decided to sell stuff, you know, that will make him rich. And he's selling like chains and hooks and stuff like that to tell the villagers, you might be able to protect your family with that, even if he knows it's not true. So he's just like exploiting the villagers. So that's what the shop is about. We are now inside the house of the rich prick. This is his kitchen, so where they prepare their food. So they eat upstairs. So we can go and see that next. We are heading to the second level of the rich guy's house. This room is still under construction. We don't have chairs yet, and the railing is not done for the staircase. You can see he's got a living area here, living room. Fireplace that looks like a nice looking one. And upstairs over there leads to the bedrooms. The people living here know about the vampires, so sometimes to feel safer they go and hide in the room here. So they have a hidden room. And it's still under construction. I have not put any kind of furniture here yet. It's small, but it's good to protect the family.
Alright, so now we're in the bathroom of the home, and naturally you're using some of the wonderful new props that SOE provided us.
Yeah, I figured this house was perfect to use them. It's like the richest house, so they look pretty, pretty nice looking. So I use all of them, and also made toilet paper with a pillow. The bathtub doesn't have a drain, so you have to be imaginative about how they get rid of the water. But I like the setting so far. We're now in the largest bedroom. It's where the adults are sleeping. This bedroom is very large. They have a study area where, they have a bookshelf and a sofa chair, a very nice fireplace, and a very large bed. And then a corner where, the lady can put her makeup, whatever. They also have a balcony. We are now on the balcony, still in the house from the rich people. You can see the neighbor, the roof is still under construction, that's not finished. But if you look over that house, we have a very nice view of the town hall and the gallows and also the marketplace. So that's a very good spot for that guy to see what's going on in the village. We are now on the attic of still the rich man's house. The attic is going to be used as a bedroom for the kids, also where they play. It's pretty large, so it's gonna be very roomy to do what I want. I still need to fix a lot of the beams though, the roof stuff, so it's far from finished here.
We wrap up part 1 of our visit to Xzia's Vampire Village. Times for her Twitch broadcast can be found in the published section below. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe so you can catch part 2 along with other landmark news.